Hello all, this is Kishore from Bangalore community and welcome everyone to this session across the globe, whoever is attending, good morning, good afternoon and good evening as well. So hi everyone, so thanks a lot for attending this on a weekend and then making sure you're learning new concepts every time from Bangalore community. So you see the hashtags at the rate as well. So SFDGBLR is the one, and then hashtag SFDGBLR is the same. So you can just tweet out and then know more updates on Bangalore community. Yes, the session topic is like marketing cloud platform walkthrough and admin deep dive. So over here, what we are going to learn is like the complete series of marketing cloud and then the development part or the admin part of the marketing cloud for those things. And yeah, we have two awesome Salesforce gurus, marketing cloud, SFMC marketing gurus. So one is Vlad and second one is Gaj. Vlad is he's a director, partner development, marketing cloud, Salesforce, and he sits in Australia. And Gaj, I know him very well since 2.5 years. We have been collaborating. So we had Gaj for one of the biggest event for Bangalore or even for India. So that is PLR DevX, and he had a topic there. And welcome Gaj again for the second series or the series what we have planned for Bangalore community in terms of marketing deep dive. So yeah, Gaj is a senior manager, partner development uh, in Salesforce, and she sits in Bangalore. So yeah, yeah, Vlad, you can go ahead and talk about yourself. Like, what do you do? What are your hobbies? And I know that you came to Bangalore once for TDX, and tell us about your experience there.
Absolutely. Well, welcome everyone once again. Thank you, and hello to everyone who knows me or who doesn't. I'm very excited and glad to be here with you today and share some knowledge and experience, I guess. My sort of background and experience in marketing cloud starts with Salesforce. I joined the company about 7 years ago in the professional services organization. And I used to lead effectively the team for APAC when we were growing, starting. And interesting for me was I joined at the time when Salesforce acquired Exact Target at those days. So it was a very, I guess, unexpected career path. And it was very good experience to learn. So halfway through, about 3.5 years ago, I pivoted to move into the partner team and start working with consulting partners because it was at the time for me really interesting and inspiring to share experience, share practices, share my knowledge with consultants because we do need, and even today we still need a lot more knowledge and expertise outside of the Salesforce itself. So that was kind of like the aim and objective. I guess a bit about me, I've got my great wife and two wonderful kids who keep us busy. Our daughter, she's 10. Our son is 8 this year. So they're looking forward to spending a bit more time with them while we're here in the lockdown, doing a bit of a homeschooling. I do quite enjoy a few things. Number one is I do quite like practical element of development. I do tinker with a platform. I like doing coding when I do get a chance. Don't get it that often. So I quite like to kind of go explore different features, some challenging solutions and whatnot to try and figure out the answers. I do like travel. And probably like a lot of us, one of the key points for me in traveling is actually meeting people. And, when you mentioned that experience coming up to India for TDX, and I did have one or two trips beforehand, across the country in a few different locations. I find India was very inspirational in the sense that a huge potential of talent and a lot of people who I think can contribute significantly more than we are doing today. And partially it's something that I think we as a company has to invest a bit more better to kind of provide an opportunity for people to get involved and do work, share the opportunities in a better way. And I think looking into the last year at least, we've done a lot of investment in this area, and I just look forward to see how we will continue. Similar series, similar sessions. We're trying to do a bit more enablement to make it more available to as many folks as we can, and significantly investing into finding up the opportunity to connect for employees and people who do learn the product, acquire certifications, and really looking for a way to enter the ecosystem, because that's one of the probably biggest challenges. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of talent, quite a lot of inspirational folks who kind of go up, look up, and say, you know, we want to be part of that. And from our I guess view is, how do we help you to connect with employees and get into that world? So yeah, I'll hand it
Yeah.
over to Gutch.
Yeah, thank you, Vlad. Thank you, Kishore. So this is Gaj here. Like Kishore mentioned, I am based out of Bangalore. Right now, I'm in my hometown, Jaipur, for some time. Let's see till how long this pandemic or the situation remains. I've got almost 10 years of experience. Out of that, half is with Marketing Cloud, 5 years with Marketing Cloud, and I've spent last 3 years with Salesforce. Really loving it. Probably more because this role allows me to collaborate with people like Kishore, Vlad, and in fact everyone who are there on the call, with which we can share what's happening, what's new in Marketing Cloud, as well as learn back from what is their aspirations, and how we can make the product better. So it has been a great journey so far. On the personal side, there are just two of us, me and my wife, and my hobbies are more inclined towards doing some fun activities, like people might have seen a meme on the LinkedIn, which I shared just as to catch your attention. So I
That was a
so
good
I
one.
love yeah, so I love making such memes, or be active on Reddit or Twitter kind of platform for such kind of activities. I'm not as bigger techie like Vlad. So yeah, with this session we are trying to start a series on Marketing Cloud enablement. We actually had this long standing gap around people not having the live instance to work upon, learn Marketing Cloud, because unlike core, we don't have an org where you can go and sign up for yourself. Thankfully, Vlad has been able to get us an org for every one of us who are there on the call. So we'll talk more about uh, you know how you will be getting an org and for how long. But what I can say is, it's a great opportunity for anyone who is new to Marketing Cloud. Understand if it is really worth your time, attention, and resources. We most hopefully feel that yes, it will be worth your hard work. And this is a field which is booming and growing quite fast. So we'll learn more about it as we go forward. So
Yeah.
yeah.
As you said, this is a long waiting list for us. So probably we decided, me and Gaj decided that we want to make a series of Marketing Cloud in 2019. For sure, it was like 2019 between September and October. So from that time, either he is busy or community is busy or we are busy in terms of handling other things. So yeah, now this we found like everything is virtual and more people can join this and get benefit irrespective of Bangalore or irrespective of India. There are like people who have attended from other places in US. So yeah, this will be a very interesting series to learn Marketing Cloud, to learn what are all the contents we have in Marketing Cloud from these two masters. So thanks a lot, Vlad and Gaj, for for taking your time on Saturday. And yeah, I know you are like pretty much occupied on weekdays. So partner enablement is like not a small job. So you have to engage with multiple partners and then give an overview of what you're doing in MC, and then going through the series of webinars as well over there. But yeah, thanks a lot for your commitment to community as well. So yeah, looking forward for more collaboration in terms of marketing engagement, and then yeah, certification engagements as well. So thank you so much.
Sure thing.
Yes, so you know where to reach us. So if you're new to Bangalore community, then we are the most active community. We are the world's largest developer group in the I'm like in the world. So Yeah, you can follow us on SFDGBLR hashtag. So over there, you will get any notifications in any YouTube uploads or even any new events which has been coming on. So do follow SFDGBLR. And today you can use the hashtag SFMC with BLR or BLR SFMC series. So what you get from that is like when you see BLR SFMS MCS series. So over there, you will get the content if it is a series 1, series 2, series 3. So those contents can be if people are tweeting out, and then if they found it more useful information and they put it on Twitter, and if we go on search that series in the Twitter, then we get all the information over there hashtag. So use that hashtags SFMC with Bangalore BLR and BLR SFMC series 1. I'll just drop that in the chat. And thanks a lot. We almost have 190 participants, and yeah, this is going to be a crazy session for us, and crazy learning session for you guys. And yes, all 190 people are going to get something out of it. And yeah, we will have more content from these guys. Yeah, Gaj, over to you now.
Okay. In fact, so we'll just quickly talk about the agenda. Maybe Vlad, if you can share the screen, because
Yeah.
yeah, you'll be having the
Okay,
first
hold
section.
on.
So we will be talking about why SFMC as the very first thing. Like most of you had the question about the growth opportunities and why should we spend more time here. So we'll talk about why SFMC, and then I'll take you through a platform walkthrough across multiple studios, builders, etc. Then we will have subscriber data management and multiple channel activities present inside Marketing Cloud. And lastly, we will talk about that how we will be continuing this enablement journey. What are the various options which are available for you, where you can go across, find the meaningful activities to complete, and add the hands-on flavor to your Marketing Cloud know-how. So that is something what I can share with you. Right. So before we start, if Vlad can talk about point number 2, ideally it should have been point number 1. That is why SFMC, and how this product is evolving and is the #1 marketing automation system in the world as of now. Over to you, Vlad.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Gajendra. I think it would be very good alignment, I guess, before we start with the product is why would you choose a marketing cloud as a platform of interest, or I guess a choice for studying, learning, and kind of getting your hands on with that. Quite often I find that marketing is an interesting topic on its own. So I came into marketing from the development background. I used to work in the company and really write the software. We did a 3-tier web applications. I used to write Java backend, front end on the JavaScript. And I worked with middle tier apps and databases directly. So that was kind of like technical experience. And looking for a job when I was joining Salesforce, I came to the exact target at the time, but it was more, to be honest, driven by the technology. I was curious about the tech. I was kind of looking into solution architecture role, thinking that my role is going to be very technical. When I joined the team and when I went through the onboarding and started implementing, I found out that it was actually slightly different. It was a very interesting mix of technical knowledge and expertise combined with something a bit unusual. You talk about marketing, and it's a very soft skill. There's a lot of learnings in marketing around people's behavior and around how we go up and do our businesses with different companies, firms, consume their services, consume their goods, and so forth. And it was an interesting combination because I did my first degree in economics and my second degree in IT, and it was almost these two coming together. It's almost like a perfect job for me. So I started exploring more, and I found, like with every new product, with every new acquisition over the period of time, as we add to the portfolio, you're getting exposure to something new, to something different. And the way we do things are very different from year to year, from product to product. So the reasoning on why would you do that and why would you choose marketing as a sort of almost like, even if you're technical on the background, if you experience as developer, it's almost challenging yourself to think through how can you apply your technical skills, your architectural or developer knowledge and skill set to something that is very soft and people oriented. You're designing and developing experiences for customers. And if you look in the world around yourself, you will kind of realize that you're pretty much touching everything you interact with on a daily basis. Starting from receiving emails, marketing emails from different companies, SMS notifications when you get appointments to your doctors. Most of us use mobile apps, different types of mobile apps, whether it's Uber or, takeaway food or, parcel deliveries and whatnot. You've got all of these different notifications. All of these little things have connection to marketing in some way. And your career in marketing is really starting to go up and say, well, how can I be part of that? How can I be part of something new, something creative, something exciting and inspiring that creates experience for people around me as well as myself? And learning the tools, when you start actually going through the tools, there is plenty of tech. There's enough to learn if you're technical and you're kind of curious to go and say, will it challenge me enough? Will I need to be still technical and whatnot? And it's a constant mixture of how far technically do you go between how far do you go on the strategy and understanding softer skills. In Marketing Cloud, there's varieties of products. So if you refer to that and someone did ask, whether or not Pardot is one of them, Marketing Cloud think of that as a suite of different products that we either built or acquired over the period of time, and they all relate to marketing, so digital marketing. We've got tools that allow us to send email communications, send SMS, send push notifications in the custom applications that people will be developing. We've got tools that allows us to connect to the open web and effectively listen to conversations, for example, on Twitter or Facebook or blogs in different communities, to understand how people express their feelings and sentiments around their experiences. So we can pick up all of these different conversations and start recognizing if someone is happy or unhappy. Someone is sharing their experience with pictures, and we can even to a degree to identify some logos or objects on these pictures and so forth. We've got analytical tools for those who are very excited and passionate about data. So if it's something that really inspires you and allows you to kind of go up and tinker with your technical tools to say, how do I see people through the huge stream of data points that we get, from different interactions, then yes, we do have these tools. They allow us to understand performance of marketing. They allow us to understand personas of people in the marketing database and effectively help companies to better spend their money when it comes down to advertising and promotions. Interestingly enough, I look and kind of trying to monitor these conversations around the content moderation on Facebook and whether or not different companies should be supporting that motion of, do we need to advertise, do we not? I find it's really kind of like personal opinion to me, because I do agree that advertising is not necessarily always great. But at the same time, if you never hear about new things, if you never hear about changes, if you never hear about the offers, then your experience these days, for me, kind of at least potentially, might look a bit boring. What I do take an inspiration from is from brands who do know how to manage it well. If we're advertising, if we're communicating to people, if we're communicating to potential customers of the brands, it's finding that fine line between being abusive and bombarding people with a lot of messages without personalization, without relevancy, at the times that are not appropriate for me. Rather going down to the path of, I know who you are, or I can understand where you are in your relationship to my brand. And then how do I connect with you as an individual? How do I become personalized? How do I start sending communications to you in a manner that is not abusive, that doesn't really bombard you? It gives you a feel of brand connecting with you and talking with you. And that's really a job of good technical marketers who can connect a lot of data together, who can make sense of that, who can think about interesting strategies for communications, and essentially construct and orchestrate series of inbound and outbound communications on the automation platform. We are marketing automation tool as one of the other things amongst all the other attributes and characteristics, and it means that a lot of the things that we do on the platform has to be thought from perspective of scalability. We've got different brands that use our products and connect to 10 plus million of people in their database. That's the existing customer base, and plus potentially an outreach to a wider and broader community. So when you get to, if you get to work in the projects in Marketing Cloud, someone was saying, how inspiring is career in Marketing Cloud? It really is amazing. You get to work from smallest brands to the largest brands in the industry. You work across varieties of industries. Marketing is not only applicable to retail. On the contrary, we trying to find the right way to educate people on how marketing applies to health and educations and science and technologies and whatnot. It doesn't really matter what brands are doing, what companies are doing. It's really all about being there and being able to connect with all of these different brands and effectively, being able to connect from all of these different brands to potential audiences. So I hope that gives you a bit of an overview. I'll hand over to Gajendra, who's going to be presenting a first session with us, right?
Gaj, sorry, Vlad. So you want to take one question?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a quick look.
So yeah, there's from Jason. Okay, so yeah, so he has asked, can you please speak to the differences between Pardot versus Marketing Cloud? I always find it confusing why Salesforce still offers both platform and has not merged them or done a better job differentiating them.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, it's an interesting, that's always an interesting question. You're right.
Yeah.
So if you think about these two products, Marketing Cloud, as I said, it's a combination of different products. And I think these days we're kind of trying to almost attempt to bucket up Pardot as part of this suite. If you really think about Pardot itself on its own, there's a big difference in how this product was designed and what it was designed for. It is primarily, or I guess the big advantage of using Pardot is ability to do account-based marketing and truly empower sales when they need to work with potential prospects of the brand. So if you're thinking about different brand experiences, we're doing a broadcast of the brand to try and effectively get other potential customers to be interested in the company or goods or services. So once they start communicating on the digital spaces, once they start reaching out, maybe going to the website, they're looking into submitting the form, downloading white papers, or doing some other engagements. What we want to do is to start nurturing them and understand who are the people who are potentially would benefit from the contact with the sales agent. And in this case, we're kind of really helping to take a huge amount of inbound events, like these different indication that people are interacting with the brand, kind of filtering them down to the list of people who are nearly ready to make a purchase or transact, and effectively get them to the sales team so they can start taking into these true one-to-one, in-person or live conversations. So it is a bit of a different aspect of marketing. Quite often, for simplicity, people might say, well, it's applicable to B2B marketing and Marketing Cloud goes into B2C. I disagree with that. I think both products can work across B2B and B2C environments and contexts. So B2B means from business to business, and B2C is business to consumer. They can both work in different settings. It's more, Marketing Cloud quite often comes down to experiences that you need to automate, that you need to run at scale with a large number of audiences, with a large number of different transactions, while Pardot to me always feels it's a bit more, hand holding customers or prospects that you kind of like towards the point of actually conversion. Like they need to sign up, they need to purchase the services, they need to purchase the goods, or they need to sign a deal with us as a partnership between two companies and effectively become, one of our target sort of suppliers, or we become a supplier for them, kind of thing. So this is where I find like they're really coming into top of the funnel. And then as soon as they become customers, traditionally you would see that Marketing Cloud takes over. And then we start channeling all of these outbound communications and reactions from these consumers to mainstream marketing, as I would probably call it. I know it's not always easy to explain, so hopefully it makes a bit more sense. I don't know, Gajendra, do you want to add something to that?
Not actually, Vlad. I mean, you covered it quite well. And in fact, when people will see the Marketing Cloud dashboard and see multiple marketing activities, we can then add upon that how things work a bit differently in Pardot. We have similar functionalities, but the whole difference comes in with what kind of scale are we approaching that kind of functionality, or like the term you use, what kind of hand holding we are doing for those leads to be converted into prospects and contacts and customers like that. So
Yeah.
once they will see it, it will be easy for them to understand or align.
Yeah, I want to say maybe just one more thing to say, because quite often like there's a lot of these references to Pardot as being like a tool to generate leads. You can use, as I said, Marketing Cloud can generate leads as well. Yeah. It's really the fact of nurturing the leads would be the right statement to fit in, because you talking about almost taking the people and start looking at them almost with a microscope to kind of understand how do we get them from being just purely curious about the brand to transact with us. And we want to empower sales conversations. So Pardot sits on the core platform of Salesforce and connected to Sales Cloud, because quite often if you think about the life cycle and how all of these different transactions happen in this marketing space, it is related to sales activity, and therefore we'll look into that sort of relationship with the Sales Cloud. And the only other thing I wanted to add, because there was a good question around, actually too. So, when it comes down to job, does experience matter most or certificates matter most? Personally, I believe it's both, right? If you look into, let's take one side of that. If you've got someone with a lot of certification and a lot of Trailhead experience, it's not a bad place to be, because it signifies that someone invested their time to learn the product. But it shows me that you don't have a practical experience. So even if I would be a hiring manager, I would offer you a junior role. In my opinion, you would need a bit of mentoring, a bit of coaching, a bit of shadowing experience to see how things are really done. So you do know the product, and you would be able to log into the platform, perform some tasks, but someone will need to tell you what to do. Now, if you look at someone with a lot of experience without any certification, I would probably ask the question today, why not? It is a recognition of your knowledge, your expertise, and I would encourage people to consider taking certification simply because it just does that. It recognizes that you've done your time, you've delivered some projects, you've got experience. It's nothing more than that. Combining two together indicates for any person who is looking for a talent to say, well, I can see what you've done. I can see that it's been recognized, and you put an effort to actually, go through certification. These two come together very nicely, and potentially it kind of puts you ahead of the game, or maybe for a more senior positions. So either way you work is important. Experience is important as well as certifications, but you need to combine them together to make sense on what they're actually expecting from the job itself.
Yeah, so thank you, Vlad. So guys, I see more questions on how to get Marketing Cloud instance, all those things. Guys, don't worry. So you will get an instance for sure, but it will be for limited time. Okay. So make sure, see, once you get an instance also, you should know something out of it, right? It is not like you learn from Trailhead or you learn from other recordings. Probably you have the live series going on. So this is what you can utilize this session, and then make sure you attend the series and then learn from the series itself. So yeah, again, I'm making it clear, we are not going to give vouchers. We are not going to give any certification vouchers for this session. Okay, Marketing Cloud, nothing. So we are going to give a free instance, which is for limited time for sure. And yes, make sure you grab it. You attend this session, this series till end. Weekly we are going to have a session, 3 series session. So yeah, grab that. Yeah, Gaj, you can go ahead.
Okay, just give me a second. I'll pick it up from there and I'll share my screen. Yes. Let me know if when my screen is visible.
Yep, we can see that.
Great. So, Vlad, talk about what you can do with Marketing Cloud, how it stands apart from multiple other marketing automation tools we have. Like Pardot was something which you were discussing more about. So this is what is Marketing Cloud in terms of the multiple functionalities what you can see in front of you, right? What is marketing? It's about how you can reach out to your prospect or your consumer in the most well-defined manner. How you can reach out to your prospect or consumers through multiple channels. You can reach out to them through, again, email, mobile, social ads, connected devices, smart TVs. Like now that degree of closeness is actually becoming lesser and lesser. Your Fitbit devices will actually uh, take back some information, tell the brand, and then you can be shared some sort of product which is relevant to you. So the idea is with Marketing Cloud, how we can cover those channels and create a connected experience with your, like I said, your prospects or your customers. So we have got something like Email Studio for sending out emails, where you go in, first import your data, like all the email addresses, etc., or the folks you want to send out a communication. So you go out, create something called data extension. Maybe I should just zoom this a bit so it is visible. Yeah, so you go there, create data extensions, and you can get or import the data and send the email communication. This is all about email. You can also do something like mobile activities, like send out mobile SMSs, mobile push activities. We have our integration with WeChat as well to send out communication. We have got something with WhatsApp, but that's a part of our digital engagement powered by Service Cloud. So we have got all those communications layer. We have got Social Studio, wherein you can publish your post or do some sentiment analysis, analyze what's happening on your social pages. You can go to Ad Studio, wherein you can put in ads on all the destinations what you can see on the screen. And what kind of ads? Suppose I am the person who has purchased something from this fictitious brand called Northern Trail Outfitters, and I have purchased man shoes, right? So now the brand knows that if Gurj has purchased shoes, chances are less that within 1 month he will again go and buy next pair of sports shoes. So we should suppress gurj@salesforce.com from getting any kind of shoes ads on Facebook. Right? So that is the first party data. That is me purchasing shoes. We are telling it to Salesforce into the most compliant, secured way, and we can automate as well. Right? Every night, go and tell Facebook who all have purchased shoes. Don't show a shoes ad to those folks. What more you can do is brand knows that if Gurj has purchased shoes, he might be also needing a fitness tracker. So again, for those people who have purchased shoes, we can go to Facebook, Twitter, etc., and show a fitness tracker ad, because that is the most relevant or most intuitive need which they might be having. So we can go and advertise on Ad Studio. So we spoke about email, we spoke about ads. What we want to create a customer journey. So what you can see on your screen, again, for this I have to zoom out and zoom in. I'm sorry. Yep, this is good. So what you can see here is how a journey looks like. That is, a person who enters into a journey takes a different path based upon whatever is the purchase value. So this is an abandoned cart journey. So what we are saying is people who have abandoned the cart in last 24 hours, let's put them into a journey, and based upon what was the purchase value or what was the value they have set or kept in the cart, let's keep different paths based upon that. So that is just one example of customer journey. It's all customizable. I mean, when I say customizable, it's all drag and drop based upon your requirements, your customer requirements. You can drag and drop these activities and create a different canvas. But here what we are saying is people who have more than $200 go on to the high value path. People who have less than $200 go to a low value path, and they get an email, and if at all they have taken an action. So we have got something like splits, engagement splits, decision splits. So what we're trying to say here is if someone has clicked on my abandoned cart email, let's take them out of the journey. So we're not annoying them, or we're not sending them multiple emails. if someone has not taken any action on our email, that is they have opened but not clicked, or they've not opened at all, they all will go and they will be put into a 50-50, which is a random split, and then half of them will get one more email and other half will get an ad on the social network, which I've just now shown on the ad audiences here. So what you're seeing here, ad audience, can very well go inside and sit inside your journey builder, right? So you can go there, set up an ad audience, and then you will make that person exit. So there are all ways of journeys you can go out and create for your customers. All that is happening within Marketing Cloud. So what we can do here is we can again reach out to our folks through email, mobile, social ads. We can put, or we can stitch all them together into some sort of journeys. What more we can do here is, what if you want to go and kind of find out what is the outcome of all my activities, which means what is the KPIs, or how I'm achieving the KPIs with all the spends I'm doing on multiple ad networks, multiple marketing channels. So Datorama acts that single point wherein you feed into multiple ad channels or marketing channels, tell that, hey, I'm spending X amount of dollars on Google. This is the leads I'm getting from there. Hey, I'm spending X or Y amount of dollars on Marketing Cloud email. This is the kind of email that I'm sending out. Datorama will then go and then find out that, hey, what is the customer acquisition cost based upon all the spends you have done as of now on multiple marketing channels. How is that media cost and how is the revenue looking like, so that you as a marketer can make now a better decision that, see, Marketing Cloud acts or perform much better than Google ads. Maybe I should invest more onto Marketing Cloud emails, or that particular campaign had better returns. Maybe I can use the same amount of graphics or those same best practices onto my other kind of campaigns as well. So Datorama helps you create dashboards, which gives you an or create marketing intelligence dashboards, which gives you a view on how your multiple channels are acting. So it's again a topic for our advanced workshops, where we speak about how you can use or how you can configure what kind of different roles we have inside Datorama in terms of going inside and acting like a project manager or a solution architect and working with them. So like you can see, there are multiple marketing vendors. So wherever your client might be spending their dollars, like you can see all the options on the screen, uh, Facebook, Google ads, etc., Instagram, LinkedIn, Marketing Cloud, right? Wherever they are spending their dollars, Datorama will get to know, and then will show a single dashboard on how the actual returns look like, and where you need to spend more amount of money or where you need to invest further. So this is about Marketing Cloud in terms of what we can do. Largely there, so these all were like independent vertical stacks, if I can say. When I say independent vertical stacks, which means Email Studio acts on its own, mobile acts on its own, social ad, they all act on their own. We've got something called Einstein, which is like an underlying layer of AI, which can help you personalize your emails and also your web activity. So this is my website. I can go across, use Einstein, and it can tell me based upon my browsing history, my abandoned cart, my purchase history, that what is that I am interested in, what are the related items based upon my previous purchase or my previous activity, and more I will actually browse. It will start showing me more recommendations that based upon what you people who have seen this also have seen this, like those kind of recommendations. If you would want to deploy on your website or on your emails, you can actually go across and work with Einstein Personalization Builder, and then there are multiple other out of the box offerings within Einstein. So that's where Einstein works, or Einstein sits inside Marketing Cloud. Lastly, if I can show you, maybe I have to just stop sharing and share a different screen for that. I just couldn't. Yeah, I have to share the whole screen. If I just desktop. Can you see my Chrome now? Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
see your inbox. Yep.
Yeah, inbox. So as a part of my journeys, what has happened is that on 9th of September, when I was out there on this website NTO, as soon as I saved my card, I got a triggered email that, hey, I have saved a tent in my what you can say mailbox. Then later what happened was, when my purchase was confirmed, I got one more triggered email. Then I was also told that, what are the recommended items for me based upon the kind of purchase I have made. So this was happened on 9th of September, and on 11th of September there was some other item which I had left behind. So they were sending me reminder emails for that. So all these journeys, all these triggered emails, you can set up uh, inside your marketing cloud, which will help some sort of seamless or automated way of marketing, which feels intuitive also, right? We are not here to do batch and blast campaign, that is send these 1 lakh people or 1 million people and a kind of email about shoes, and send these 500,000 people an email about jackets. We are sending out communication based upon their requirements. So you have seen an intro about what does marketing cloud holds and its various applications through my emails I had received in my inbox, and its multiple studios and builders. Probably Vlad can take over, talk about a core part of marketing cloud, that is how you are storing the contacts and data inside marketing cloud, because that's where the whole story begins from: the email address to whom you're going to send out emails, or the mobile number to whom you're going to send out the SMS. So over to you, Vlad, to talk more about subscriber data management within marketing cloud.
Sounds great. Thank you, Gajendra. Let me take over the screen share here. Here, and we're going to go back into here. Share. Okay. Let me just quickly switch here. In the marketing cloud, so what is important to think when it comes down to actually storing anything in marketing cloud in terms of data and whatnot? Just give me 1 second. I've got, for some reason, overlapping windows here. There we go. So when it comes down to storing the data in the first place, think of Marketing Cloud having kind of like its own database. And for anyone to load the data into Marketing Cloud, you'll need to create a placeholders for your data. We start with 2 different data types, but most frequently we use data extensions, and that name encapsulates a very simple table in a database that we expose through the user interface. It's essentially, think of that kind of like an Excel spreadsheet in the simple terms. For those who understand Salesforce Core CRM, it's essentially an object, very similar to that concept. So you've got the table where you've got rows and columns. The columns represent fields, and then the rows represents the data that you're loading and importing into the Marketing Cloud. These data extensions that we use, they can be standalone, they can have a relationship to other different data extensions. An example could be if you're loading in the e-commerce data set, you've got the members, you've got customer profiles, you've got their purchases, line items, products, and whatnot. So all of these different data objects, they somehow are related to each other. And that's what we refer to as a different direction, relations. When you import data to Marketing Cloud, you would be able to work with that in a few different ways. And one of them is actually using SQL, as I sometimes refer to, light SQL language, to do some transformation, maybe combine, aggregate, calculate some important points that are useful and required for marketing. We use the same data extensions as a target audience list. So from different, if you're coming with the experience of different other marketing products, you would potentially know the term list. And what list represents, so in this case, we would use data extension as a list, is a set of people that we want to communicate with. And in the product, there are different ways to essentially import, data into data extensions and then manage them in the automated fashion. So when we start going through the application, we'll see if we can quickly do the demo. When you're creating a data extension, the experience would look very similar to these 3 different screenshots. We start with defining the name and different attributes, identifying sendable, not sendable. If we need to have a retention policy, an example could be we want to store the data for only a certain period of time, and then platform will need to delete it. We can define that, and defining the actual set of fields. And you will see that it does include the name, it does include the data type, length where appropriate, and so forth. Interestingly, you would find that in Marketing Cloud, we don't have a concept of foreign keys. So if you're coming with a entity relationship sort of diagram background, we don't necessarily transpose it here. We just have ability to define the primary key. And I hope that most of you understand that. And if not, it's essentially saying which combination of attributes define the uniqueness of the record. So if you look at, take, for example, me, Kajendra, and Kishore, we've got first name, last name, different email addresses, and we can choose one of these or combination of these different attributes to define us as an individual. And that's something that we refer to as uniqueness at the database level or primary key. For Marketing Cloud, quite often if we use these data extensions as a sendable lists, we need to define send relationship. And effectively what that means is to identify which of these attributes has to be used as the unique identifier for the contact. And in this case, it will be related to the concept known as the subscriber key. What we look into defining the differences between sendable and unsendable and standalone and so forth. So we've got a few different ways of working with data extensions. One is a simple, as we spoke, simple table. You bring the fields, you bring the data, you store that. You can create a filtered subset. So quite often we work and say, well, here's a list of different transactions, but we only need to know maybe transactions on the last 3 days or the last week. So we can define a filter and then create a filtered view of the data extension. We can refresh it automatically, and quite often these approaches used for automating the workflow or the process of sending marketing communications. So it's a part of the broader automation program. In other cases, we might look into using randomization. So in cases we say we want to split the audience maybe in 3 different segments, do it randomly and let the platform take care of that, then yeah, we can create a random data extensions for you. And I did talk about sendable and not sendable. When it comes down to import, one of the most common ways to work with Marketing Cloud, if you need to import your data, is using file-based exchange. And what it looks like is traditionally you've got different platforms, maybe warehouse solutions, maybe e-commerce solutions, maybe CRM solutions, and they export the data for marketing in the form of files. They can be encrypted, they can be compressed, need to be dropped into our FTP. And as a part of the account, we do provide an FTP location for all our users. And internally, once we start processing all of these files, they go through multiple steps. Traditionally, you would have the file transfer activity that will unpackage that file, decrypt it if it's encrypted, and so forth. And then we would subsequently run what we call an import activity, which literally just imports the data from that file into the data extension or the target list for us in the platform. It is important to establish the differences in notations in Marketing Cloud between a few terminologies that identify people. So when we talk about the platform, different products and different vendors might have a different name. So we refer to contacts and contact model. Contact is essentially a human individual, a person that we would be sending communications to through any marketing channels. And in the platform, when we start working a bit closer, or you'll get a chance to explore in the contact builder, specifically, you will see the all contact section where you can see the list of all of these different contacts all together. Subscriber is another term for people, and the way we distinguish them, it's a bit unusual and quite often difficult to relay for people who are new, but think of subscribers as people who are opted in to receive communications. And usually they belong to different channels. An example could be if I go to the website and sign up for a newsletter to receive through my email, I provide an email address, then you will find me in the email studio as a subscriber for email communications. If I express consent to receive SMS communications, then I'll be a subscriber for a mobile channel, the SMS channel, right? So then I become a subscriber there. Ultimately, if I think about the relationship between the contact and subscribers, the contact combines all of these view of subscribers into one single entity view. So that's an individual. Subscribers is the same, but it only really represents you at the particular channel. So whether it's an email studio for email channel, mobile studio for SMS and push notifications, and so forth. And there is a statement about who can be subscribers and who might not be, but we might move to the next more interesting point, is going back into that data extension creation and defining the subscriber key. As I said before, when you create a sendable data extension, it is important for the platform to know who do we send communications to. And in order for us to kind of start tracking people in the platform, we're using that field called subscriber key. Ultimately, the plan for that is, if you think about yourself, you might go through the life, change your email address from Gmail to Hotmail, maybe start using your work email address for communications. So there's a lot of different attributes that might be changing throughout the life cycle. Subscriber key itself is that unique identifier for you as an individual to essentially say, what is your email address? What is your first and last name? What are the other attributes that we might be using for marketing? And we use that when we're defining these sendable audiences to say what particular field in your data set will identify a human person. The reason why you need to do that is because your data is a freestyle format. When you create data extension, it's pretty much a simple table. You define fields, and the platform cannot guess automatically which defines what particular field will identify their person. Email address is not recommended to be a subscriber key by default, simply because there are instances where email address can be used for multiple people and the email address might change. So in this case, we don't necessarily want to create a net new individual. We want to retain that history of experiences and therefore preserve the subscriber key relationship. It is a crucial decision, and when you start playing with the platform, you will start experiencing the importance and significance of that, because when you get to the point of using the same value and then defining different attributes, you will kind of realize that there's only one person represented by the subscriber key. It has to be unique. It has to present in every sendable data extension so we can effectively identify who to send communications to. Now, when we start talking about subscribers, remember, it's a channel point of view. For contacts, we're kind of talking about the contact key. And in Marketing Cloud Platform, these two terms are really interchangeable, because essentially most of the time when you look at the contact key, it's exactly the same value that is a subscriber key will contain. But we just view at the contact key in a slightly different way or in a slightly different place in the platform. If you think about subscribers having, in the channel, like for example, an email, and I'll take SMS as an example. If you've got two different values for subscriber key in mobile and email channels, then potentially there is a problem, because from the contact perspective, we will look and say, hey, there is a subscriber with that email address and it sits in the email channel, and there is a person with the another subscriber with the mobile number sitting in that particular channel, but different key. So we can't link them together. So what the contact key does is essentially a combination between, if you use the same values for different subscriber keys across different tools and products, then we should be able to combine and link them and really look at the person as an individual. Therefore, going back to that importance of and significance of having a person represented with the same and correct key is kind of re-highlights that. So if you think about the view in the platform, you will see all the different attributes combine and connect to the contact model through these different attribute groups. They use ultimately that contact key relationship to essentially say, who is that person in the middle? And then how does all the other data points support the knowledge and notion about that individual? That's the view for our data extension relationship view in the contact builder. When we start defining, here's a bunch of different tables that we want to connect. Why do we want to do that? Is really to make an understanding of how, for example, Vlad interacts and transacts with the brand. How many purchases he've done, what products did he buy, and so forth. And we're using all of that information to really personalize our communications with him from the brand standpoint of view. So we're trying to use the data to better target, to provide relevant communications and really personalize the payload and the messages. When we talk about the journeys, you will start seeing few notions that the data is coming together in multiple different ways, but think about having representation of some of the information we provide at the start of the experience. So for example, if I'm signing up or making a purchase, let's take that one. If I'm making a purchase in the e-commerce website, and then I'm going up into the journey, so I'll receive a transaction receipt, I will have a shipment notification, delivery notification, and so forth, serious communications coming up from the journey. We're providing some context at the start, and that context is called journey data. So all of these different attributes, they go through the journey with that person. And then in addition to that, we might actually start seeing all new data points coming up together. So, you know, the shipment is now being packaged, it's ready to be delivered. So we will have somewhere a record for that. And all of these extra details, you'll be able to find in the contact data through the journey. And I think that sort of summarizes that. So we're going to double up on that. Now, the other few things to be aware of in the platform that are quite important would be the profile center and the subscription center. So one element of collecting and importing data about people is really to personalize and target, but the other side is to ensure that we understand how people opt in or opt out from receiving these marketing communications. For example, I can have a transactional experience with a brand if I'm making a purchase, or maybe I sign up for an appointment to see my dentist like I did yesterday. And then what the clinic would do is they would send me a reminder SMS to say, hey, Vlad, don't forget your appointment is in 2 hours. You know, so that communication is not incentivizing me or is not trying to sell me something. It's transactional experience. It's really reminding me about something that I've done, something I need to attend, versus pure marketing point of view, where we start saying, hey, Vlad, you know, you've seen the doctor. How about we start looking into maybe, I don't know, applying some treatment to whiten up your teeth or something like that. So when they actively or proactively rather trying to sell me their services. So in this case, I might say, I don't want to receive these marketing communications, and Profile Center or Subscription Center will support me in my decisions. When I receive first communication, I would click on the link and tell the brand that, hey guys, I'm actually not interested to receive your marketing, but I'm happy to receive these reminders. That's something I'm still keep doing, and therefore happy to continue receiving them. Another point I wanted to mention is quite often we talk and discuss how do we connect Marketing Cloud with the rest of the Salesforce products. And very important product, as you might guess, would be CRM, right? So when we talk about sales, service experiences, when we discuss community experiences, what we have in Marketing Cloud is what we refer to Marketing Cloud Connect. And it's a connector between marketing and CRM products. It's an API layer, it's a managed package that we designed and develop and support, and effectively provides us few key features that empower marketers to achieve certain outcomes and goals. So if you think we've got ability to deploy messages to contacts, leads, and users in CRM, we can initiate customer journeys in Marketing Cloud based on the data changes in Salesforce CRM, and effectively put people into the stream of outbound communications and activities in Marketing Cloud. And in addition to that, when it comes down to data, as we spoke about that, we don't really want to be importing files from Salesforce CRM, exporting and importing into Marketing Cloud, and that the connector actually takes care of that. You've got the ability to, through the sort of wizard style approach, configure the data synchronization from Salesforce CRM right into Marketing Cloud. And it's an instant access for all the important elements within the service experience or sales experience or community experience for the customer, straight away jumping into the marketing funnel. So we now understand whether or not it makes sense for us to communicate with person, or should we rather not, because you might have an open support case, and at this point in time, trying to promote your products might not actually be sensible for us. Few other things to say, we do support sort of streamlined experiences to send communications using Salesforce reports or campaign as an audience. So we spoke about data extension as being an object for, or at least used as a target audience. Quite often we would look into utilizing a report or campaign as another object to target in Marketing Cloud when you've got that Marketing Cloud Connect installed. Therefore, we can say a salesperson can provide us the list of individuals that they want to put into the marketing experience, and then we can, without any import, we can really define a send communication to that report and effectively put them into the messaging stream. We do support multiple integration options as well. This is a sort of a more thorough, deeper topic to discuss. I'll leave it out, but kind of know that we do support experiences where if you need to connect Marketing Cloud with multiple CRM instances like Sandbox or Developer or SIT, UAT, and production environment, there are ways to do that, as well as ability for a Marketing Cloud account through a child business unit hierarchy to be connected to different CRM instances. So scenario could be a global brand that has multiple CRM instances for different countries, like one for APAC, one for India, one for US, and they want to connect to them separately in Marketing Cloud. There are ways that we can effectively support that model and connect them in the Marketing Cloud for further engagement. At this point in time, I'm going to hand over back to Gajendra to talk about the channel management.
Sure, Vlad. Quickly share my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop sharing that.
Great. Thank you. Okay. So Vlad spoke about a pretty important aspect around Marketing Cloud, wherein how do you go around and manage the contacts and get them ready for sending out communication. Within Marketing Cloud, we have got multiple such options. When I speak about or what I was sharing with you earlier, that we have got multiple channels like email, mobile, social, etc. Probably now we'll take a quick walkthrough through each of these channels, understand that what kind of skills or what kind of complexity do they really entail, and if a person who is able to learn one or two of these modes to send out communications, how complex it would be or how simple it would be otherwise. Marketing Cloud has been built with the idea of marketer first and click not code kind of approach, and hence you will see that philosophy in each of our product within Marketing Cloud suite of products, what you can see on the screen. So multiple channels which we can see here is email. We have already covered when we were starting off. If I go inside mobile studio window, which we didn't touch upon earlier, go to mobile connect. Suppose I want to send out SMSs for the behalf of my customers, and like the example Vlad was talking about, that if that dentist shop want to send and reminder SMS to Vlad about the upcoming appointment, what they can do is they can set up an API triggered SMS that as soon as the time comes 24 hours before an SMS is sent. Or what they can also do is they can have some sort of start, stop, help kind of keywords, and based upon that they can set up an SMS campaign. So those are called like the keyword based SMSs or keyword based outbound text response SMSs. So within Marketing Cloud, like you can see, these are the multiple kind of templates what you can use in one of your customer implementation. So you can have simple outbound SMSs, you can have something like text response, vote survey, so on and so forth. So if I suppose choose an outbound SMS, yeah, as one of the simple example, I just need to go around, keep a name, choose through which short code or long code this SMS will be going around, what kind of send method should be an API trigger or an automation or a scheduled one. And then once I have fixed these properties, I can pick up the audience, define the content, that 160 character SMS, and we can then just schedule and activate that particular SMS. So mobile is as simple as that. We also spoke about something about Einstein, because Einstein is one of the underlying platform which is available throughout our emails or throughout our journeys. When do we need to send an email? How do we need to send an email? Those kind of activities. So just to give an example, I'll open up Einstein engagement scoring, which is there already. So this page might look a bit confusing in the in the beginning for people. But then what we are trying to do here is we have distributed our whole subscriber population, like those who will be getting emails from us, into 4 quadrants. And these 4 quadrants are people who are like loyalist, and who are loyalist as per Marketing Cloud, who have high opens and high clicks, or people who are most likely to click and people who are most likely to open. So as a marketer, I would want to really go around and target these people first, and provide them some sort of incentive around loyalty club membership, so on and so forth. Whereas Marketing Cloud with the previous engagement history also understand that who are the folks who have low open and low click. Maybe I need to suppress them, not send them as many emails throughout all the campaigns, so on and so forth. Like these people have low open and high clicks, means I need to work upon the subject line, make them enter the email, because once they open my email, the chances are that they will for sure click what's there inside the email copy. So once you are there using Einstein engagement scoring, it will help you, or it will predict for you that what are the folks whom you need to target for, who have the highest likelihood to open or click, and based upon that, you can set up your campaigns. So all of that, what you're seeing is happening all on the out of the box manner. Just like that, we have got multiple other Einstein features. We have also got an NLP, which can be used for Einstein copy insights. Not sure if this is still in pilot or if it is being released, but it can help you understand that have a fantastic day will perform better than have a great day. So Einstein will tell you that if you will replace the word great by fantastic, it will actually have an uptick in your opens. So with that kind of knowledge, you can actually go and create much more, engaging copy or creatives that will positively impact your opens and clicks. So we have got Einstein, and what it also helps you do is it will help you create email and web recommendations. Like these two are the basis of whenever you want to go around and set up an email with sort of recommendations that should appear in the email itself, like the kind of email we receive from our popular e-commerce players here, that people who bought this also bought this kind of recommendations. Then all of those recommendations can very well be created using Einstein email recommendations inside Personalization Builder. And similarly, if you want to build those kind of recommendations inside your websites, probably there also you can go and use the web recommendations from Einstein Personalization Builder. So that is something which is useful when you are using Einstein as the underlying technology for AI. Lastly, to run reports, we have got web and mobile analytics and reporting features, tracking features inside Marketing Cloud. But then if you want to run reports on the spends you are doing, you can also use Datorama, like how we have covered earlier. If I'll quickly come back just in the interest of time, so that we can spend more time also that what are the upcoming sessions and how you will be getting your learning account for Marketing Cloud enablement, right? So we spoke about Mobile Studio. We spoke about Social Studio, which has got publish, engage, analyze. You can publish your social calendars. You can engage them. Like if I'm going and opening Nestle's Facebook page and writing that, hey, I really love your love Maggie and all. So these service reps can reply back and create a conversation on the Facebook that yes, they have found an evangelist, brand evangelist, and they can engage them on that channel and analyze. So Nestle can find out that yes, they have got a positive sentiment around Maggie because people are using those kind of keywords with it, right? So we spoke about Personalization Builder Einstein. It helps you create those kind of email, web, and triggers kind of recommendations for your consumers who are browsing on your website. Datorama is something like the marketing intelligence dashboard about KPIs, about the spends you are making, right? Ad Studio, we have seen it. That is all your first party data. You can take it securely to Facebook, Twitter, Google, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, and then you can target them based upon the information you have from your CRM. So that really helps, right? So what's happening here is I have got my ad account implementers. I can even create lookalike audiences, and I can actually go and create such kind of audiences inside Ad Studio. If I talk about setup, we have got these kind of admin or dashboard screens. Again, you will be going through these a lot in next 3 weeks when you will be having your own account with you to actually play with. So we can create users for our account. That's what Vlad will be doing by creating users for you, giving you certain roles. You can create data management activities, that is create an FTP account for importing the data, set up the key management for encryption and other things. And then as a company, you can have your account settings by headers, footers, what kind of security do we need to keep, IP warming, IP whitelist, etc., etc. Right? For our net new account, Marketing Cloud helps you by giving you a kind of checklist that, hey, you are setting up your new account. Have you taken care of all these activities or not? So it acts like a great checklist where you can just go step by step and ensure that all these activities are being taken care of. These are the kind of roles I was giving example for. Like you can create multiple kind of roles. You can even create custom roles that people can only say create emails, but they cannot do other kind of activity. If you have got such kind of requirements, you can create custom roles as well. So this is about users, and other part like what kind of users you can create and how you can create any kind of bulk changes as well. So this is all about those aspects that what we can do within Marketing Cloud when we're actually creating the users. And this is the last part, which is business unit. So what is the business unit? I am NTO and I'm working across 3 continents, EMEA, Australia, and North America, right? And then I want that all of these continents and all these regions should work on their own. They should not be able to share their data, etc. content, and let me just give them their own set of Marketing Cloud. So they will have 1 enterprise account and 3 business units. Now, once EMEA or Europe would have got their own BU, they can go and set up their own kind of content, which will not be visible to the other 2 regions or other 2 BUs unless until they are put into a shared BU. So if whatever content that has to be shared can be kept into the shared BU. What is there, which is which is not supposed to be taken out of that region, you can actually keep that into your same BU. So if I want to give an example, like we have got Northern Trail Outfitters, they have got 3 BUs, right? Northern Trail Outfitters, my NTO Rewards, and NTO Kids. So this way, what is happening in NTO or Northern Trail Outfitters is not visible to my NTO Rewards or NTO Kids users. That is something which is there inside Marketing Cloud, and you would be using this or working with this a lot once you're on an actual client implementation, right? So you can see here for my learning account, I've got multiple BUs. Typically I create when I do multiple workshops or I need to create some sort of demos around BUs. Now we have covered a lot about Marketing Cloud technical, but this is just a tip of iceberg. We have shown you how the dashboard works, what are the functionalities, or what are the enthusing features of Marketing Cloud. But it would really be useful only if you get some sort of hands-on activity. You get a proper handholding through our module which are created already. And Vlad can speak a lot about these enablement options which we have with us. So over to you, Vlad.
Fantastic. I'll ask you to keep the slides so it saves us time switching on. So in order for everyone to kind of get through the enablement, I guess there are 2 ways to consider today that we would recommend as a part of this series, right? Number 1 is Trailhead, and the second one is Partner Learning Camp. So we'll go for the next slide to talk about Trailhead. If you don't know that yet, Trailhead is open for everyone. It's an environment where you can register for the account and you can learn a lot about Salesforce products, including Marketing Cloud. There's a bit of a downside that we don't have a sandbox or playground for you to go and test some things, but nonetheless, there's quite a lot of information, practical and useful, and therefore I would encourage you to go and look into that. We do have trails on the right hand side, so I've highlighted some of them, but at the same time, if you need to look for a kind of like a certification path, if you go through certification section, you will find examples here: administrator or email specialist. And I did mention to some of you who kind of looking into, you know, transitioning from different careers and whatnot, consider these. They don't always require you to have a practical experience. Email specialist is something that you can just learn and understand and effectively pass without having a play on the platform itself. Consider them as your kind of starting points, because they will help you to kind of at least to say, you know, I've learned the product, I understand that, and it gives you an opportunity to start considering entry-level jobs. That's for one to say. Now, the second slide will tell you is for our attendees from consulting partners. We do have an instance, what is called a partner learning camp. So it's in a separate environment from Trailhead, where we providing additional education for consulting and implementing partners of Salesforce. So if you're a student, if you're just you know, participant of the ecosystem, but you're not associated with any of the company or partner firms, unfortunately, you won't be able to do that. But if you are one of these lucky fellows who are part of these companies, we encourage you to look and explore Partner Learning Camp. You can access it going from the partner community under the education tab, and then it will navigate you to the Partner Learning Camp. There are 3 courses that were recently published, and we've got Marketing Cloud Consultant coming up soon as well to kind of complement all of that. So if you're looking for the certification path to go and follow, these are curated, narrated series that provide you really kind of focused track to go up and educate yourself and get learned. And in addition to that, for example, right now we've got kind of like a promotion to say, if you go and join these courses, complete them, you can get the free voucher to take the corresponding certification. So if you're looking into getting certified in one of these 3, please do take advantage of that opportunity. I think that summarizes the education beats. Do you want to talk about upcoming sessions, Gajendra?
Yes, Vlad. So a lot of people were asking question about how they will get Marketing Cloud instance, etc. So today we'll find out like who all were the attendees of this session, and by early next week you will be getting an email from our side with Marketing Cloud login URL and your credential where you can go and set up your password. Now that instance will stay with you for next 3 weeks. And what would be the idea is that today is 8th, 15th of August, or maybe around the date, because that's a weekend, but that's also a national holiday. So we will figure out a date for that. But within 7-8 days, we will be doing a session. And that will be a more hands-on session around Marketing Cloud journeys. What I'll be doing there is I'll be creating a Marketing Cloud journey right there in front of you. I will set up a data extension. In fact, it will be a complete marketing scenario, which we will try to implement right there in this session. What would happen after that is you will be having the instance, you will get that worksheet, and you will try to again go and do it on your own. It will give you a good amount of idea that how you can also implement a Marketing Cloud journey by yourself. Following that week, we will have an MC developer session where we will be touching AMP script and a part of server-side JavaScript. And again, same thing, a Marketing Cloud scenario, which will be implemented on the session live. We'll show you that how the AMP script is working, how the output is coming. And probably you can do the same on your own with the instance which has been given to you. We hope that with the upcoming sessions, your requirements are about the hands-on aspect will also be fulfilled, as well as the instance will be there with you to go around, play, and even come back with more questions if you have that. How would a certain scenario will play out, or what if I would follow a different approach? So that is the plan for coming 2 weeks. Kishore, if you want to add something, please feel free to jump in and share.
Yeah. So, Gaj, is it for 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, I guess yes, 3 weeks.
Okay, cool. So, guys, what you can do is probably after each session, you can just go ahead and then whatever the learnings you have got it from the session, you can do hands-on from that instance, and then you can work on it. And yeah, I mean, like for sure, you can prepare for your certification by using the hands-on. See, there is one drawback for Marketing Cloud is like we don't have orgs, right? So we don't know how to or what is happening or where are all the screens we see. So the best part is like from community. This is the first time I think so. We haven't given, as far as I know, in 6 years, we haven't given anything in terms of a Marketing Cloud instance to anyone. So this is the first time. I think I should thank Vlad for this. So Vlad, thank you so much for making it happen. And then yeah, many of us, I mean, like almost 200 people, what I see here. So everyone will get benefit out of it. And then now, probably by like fourth week I mean, like even in the sixth week, there will be like a couple of certified admin guys in MC, and then they will be rocking in Marketing Cloud journey.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay. I think we are right on time, and must say thank you all for taking out time during your weekend. I feel it's a wonderful weather outside, so for all of you to sit and attend our session, it's a real humbling experience. So thank you, thanks a lot.
Yeah, so the next session would start from, we will post more information about next session. So next session is going to start at 15th and then 21. It's 21?
22nd
It is
August.
22nd. So make sure all, I mean, like, I know there are like a couple of people who did not get instance. They'll come back on 15th and ask for the instance. Probably we will check on that. We're not sure we're going to give it. And then yeah, I mean, like you learn the learnings you will get it from here is like tremendous from Gaj and Vlad as well. So yeah, thank you so much. So guys, yeah, this I mean, like please drop a note if you want to tell us like how the session was, and then what you want to learn in terms of more from community side. We'll plan to have something out of it. Last time we had FSE, FSL, and then now Marketing Cloud. So we have so many series in Marketing Cloud we are planning to have on that. So let's see how things goes on. And Vlad, I should thank you a lot because you have answered everything from the questions from the chat.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. There's a lot of questions. I think, yeah, it's the same for me. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining the session, staying late or joining up early or taking the weekend to kind of, come in and learn a bit with us. I think we tackled a lot of the questions. I've seen quite a few people sort of asking about Partner Learning Camp. So kind of reiterate, unfortunately, it's an experience that currently provided to our existing consulting and implementing partners. Your company needs to be active in the partner program, and it's reasonably easy to know that because you kind of talk to someone in your company and say, hey guys, are we, effectively, are we a Salesforce partner? The reason why we're sort of guarding that is it's an additional benefit because partners do pay a partner fee and we're providing them an extra service. So it is an extra, I guess, luxury and a benefit of being a partner to get access to that. Quick way to identify how you can access that. There is no extra requirement to register. So as long as you can access partner community, which is partners.salesforce.com, if you ever use it, then you go into the education tab and there's a link to get you to the Partner Learning Camp. No extra action required. If you are one of the partner consulting companies, for example, Accenture, Deloitte, there's a lot of folks who are not necessarily actively using community. You might need to reach out to your community administrators in the company so they can send you an invite to join the community. As soon as it happens, it's free. So there is absolutely no challenge to do that. And quite often, because we support a lot of folks on different programs to kind of get ahead on that specifically, they basically send you an invite and then you join community and straight away you go there. So I would encourage you to explore that because it certainly is an additional benefit. Few other people were saying, if you want to reach out to me, look, I think I'm not a super active user on Twitter. I don't know. It's kind of like, it's a bit unusual for Salesforce, I guess.
I could see you, but I did not get your username. So.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I think I do have an account. So I just need to figure out what is the actual Twitter handle. So I think it was like at Vladimir Silek, but most likely. But I'll confirm it. Feel free to reach out on the LinkedIn, drop me a note. I'll share the details there. It's certainly not a problem. And yeah, I think everything else we pretty much, oh yeah, a few other things. So for those who kind of talk about certifications and if it's going to open the door for you, I want to put it this way. Certification itself, maybe repeating myself, standalone is not a significance. Quite often when you find if you're going for the jobs, for the interview, it's really how you sell yourself. Salesforce, if you're going and applying to Salesforce, or if you're going up into Salesforce ecosystem, everything is about selling, whether you're selling products or services. Like there's a lot to focus around customers and selling solutions, selling outcomes for the clients. So if you're joining that ecosystem, whether it's HR experience, mining experience, if you've been developer in different technologies and stuff, it all matters. But the important thing is, it's pick up the job that you feel you're going to fit into. And you need to align your personal experience to be able to justify how do you fit into that role. Quite often you'll find that our partners are not necessarily strict on having specific Salesforce expertise. We do understand, and we do internally understand that, a lot of the roles we hire for, we're not very particular about having, 10 years worth of experience. I do know that a lot of the recruiters or ads will have, minimum 5 years worth of experience. Try it still. Don't let it stop you, because if you feel like you've got a good experience using different technologies and tools, or doing something in the company where you are today, and you feel like you will fit the role, go and do it. Try to conquer that. Don't let it stop, like that figure stop you, because you would be surprised that some of them will actually look and say, well, why is that person apply for the job? Let's jump on the call, talk to them, especially today when everything is virtual. It is much easier to organize an interview. And then you need to be able to prove yourself. How do you actually stand up to that role and position? So have a story to tell. Explain what in your experience relates to that new job, or potentially challenges you. Because another side of that, if you knew, you don't have ability to get experience. So find the jobs that are more entry level and tell people that, you're very inspired, you're very passionate, you've done some pre-work to do trails and certifications, maybe even to learn about the product as much as you can, but you'd love to get your hands on dirty. That as well, paints a picture. So it's really a lot of these things. There is no hardcore rule how you get the job. And quite often I think there's a sharing of success when people say, I finally got the certification and I've done it. In between these two phases, there could be a couple of years worth of time where someone is doing completely different jobs, series of jobs, while they're looking for the job in the Salesforce ecosystem. So never give up, don't stop trying, and don't stop learning. I think these are the three things I would encourage you to always consider with yourself. And then build your story. You'll find that how you present yourself is the most important thing. And CVs and everything, it's just the entry point to get to the talk. Once you get into that live conversation, I find that that's the most important component. If you can tell your narrative, then that's what sells yourself as an expert. So these are my closing statements. Thanks very much.
Okay, great. I think we have covered what all we intended to cover in the very beginning, and thankfully we have got 2 more sessions coming up. So we will have a lot more time to interact and answer all those questions. Just one closing thought, because there are a lot of questions coming around partner community, so maybe I can answer that as well. If you are not on partner community but you are a partner, maybe what you will do is you will go to p.force.com, or the link Vlad has shared. Just go there, sign up for that. Someone from your company need to approve your membership request. I mean, it doesn't comes to doesn't comes to us or someone at Salesforce, but your partner or someone at the leadership side would have to approve that membership request, and then you will come inside the partner community. Once you're inside partner community, yes, all of our groups are open, so then there is no such kind of restriction. But we can't get anyone, or we can't approve anyone to come onto partner community. So that is one thing. And also, when you will register for partner community, you'll also get an email telling that to who all in your company has your membership request gone to. So if you want to follow up with them, you'll know that this person need to approve my request, so please go and approach them, and then they should be able to allow you to get onto partner community. That is one thing. Yeah, I think we are good with all the questions, and I will be mindful of the time, so we need to close the session now, Kishore, right?
Yeah, so thank you guys. We'll post the upcoming session by today evening, I think.
And then Kishore, how are they going to get the slides? Like recording, you mentioned on the YouTube channel. of
Yeah,
SF?
so we will put it on SlideShare. So on
Okay,
SlideShare, we'll just get it. Yeah. Okay.
great.
So
Okay.
thank you guys. So by today evening, you will have the next session details, and we hope all 200 members to get on August 15. Again, it is Independence Day for us, but make sure 15th, August 15th. Okay. Yeah, guys. Thank you so much. And YouTube channel, just search for SFDGBLR YouTube. So you will get our channel there. You have all the recordings which we have done in this year. So Vlad, just to tell you about what we do is like, we have been like 10, 12 years old community. Okay. Never done any virtual. Though this is a pandemic, we are doing virtual every time. But when you see our events, it is like all in person. We used to get almost like 250 to 300 attendees every time. So that big it is. So probably we will have you one time in our Bangalore community in person. So making sure all this pandemic
Absolutely.
goes off, and then yeah. So yeah,
Hey,
guys,
man,
thanks for
absolutely. When it comes in, and if we, if we're traveling, and I'm definitely in the area, I'll see if we can align the trip once the sort of all the travel lifts are shifting off, and as part of the doing enablement sessions, we'll try to see if we can organize an event together as well. That would be great.
sure. That will be great. Yeah, thank you. So bye guys. So meet you next time on August 15, and then learn more stuff on MC. Okay. Bye bye.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Take care. Stay safe.